coming up, I'll give you an inside look at a Sanford Stadium tradition that has lasted almost 25 years.
Next, an inside scoop into how the UGA women's golf team is preparing for the SEC championship.
Plus, we'll take a look into the life of track and field star Mark Minichello. Sportsource starts now.
Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Nick Pierce. It's no secret that spectators of Georgia sports are some of the most passionate in the country. However, one group of diehard UGA fans have been rallying the Bulldog faithful for many years, and they're using their spotlight for a deeper meaning. Joining me now is Sportsource reporter Brett Stevens to discuss UGA Paintline's bigger story.
That's right, Nick. UGA Paintline might look like your typical superfan group, decked out in red and black for the Georgia Bulldogs, but there's something deeper going on. These guys are using their fandom to invite others into a vibrant Christian community on campus. From the nosebleeds to the front row, fans of all backgrounds show their pride for the Georgia Bulldogs any given day in Athens. At a place like Sanford Stadium, there are almost 100,000 screaming spectators dedicated to cheering on the Bulldogs. Yet, even in a crowd of many, sometimes it's the few that stand out the most. The UGA Paintline is a group of individuals who showcase their Georgia spirit by doing something most people in attendance don't: coating their full body in red paint.
So if the game's here at 12, we're here at 7:30. And so we get in line, we wait, the doors open 2 hours before the game starts, we get in. Once we get in, we start painting up immediately. So we put newspapers down, and we have people who paint us.
An operation this important has to be carried out well, which is why UGA Paintline captain David Mathis is focused on keeping this group organized in their efforts.
I handle all the finances behind the equipment that we need, such as paint supplies, such as paint brushes, and trash bags, plates, all that, the whole shebang, the wigs and the aprons.
These guys don't just gain local attention, but various media outlets have highlighted their impressive efforts nationally.
We actually went viral because we did Praying for Chubb on our backs. Every paint person has one letter. And so I'm pretty sure that was the UAB game because I was the 4. So I was the connecting piece between the praying, because we did the number 4 and then Chubb, and ESPN, SEC, all these big outlets just posted us. So that was really fun.
However, most people who look at the members of UGA Paintline don't know their main intention for splashing themselves with red paint. Their message, according to David, is clear: to increase the number of Christians in Athens.
Through our passion and support of the Dogs, people see our passion for Christ as well. Because there's an underlying, there's something more than just football. There's more than just sports in the Dogs. It's Christ, and that's who we represent. And we want more people to recognize that we don't do it for the G on our chest. We do it for the cross on our shoulder instead.
Although this tradition started with the Baptist Student Union in the late 90s, when BCM, or Baptist Collegiate Ministries, took over in the mid-2000s, that's when the iconic painting of the entire body began.
People started painting up their whole chests and started to become more uniform with one another. And then from that point on, come 2012, I believe, is when they started putting on the aviators and the wigs and really got uniform with it.
And for people like Josue, UGA Paintline will continue to live on as a historic tradition. It's all about loving sports and caring about others.
Just to be able to say you did it, at the very least, you're going to be on national TV 10 times.
UGA Paintline goes beyond cheering on the Bulldogs. They'll use their die-hard fan energy to connect with others seeking fellowship and purpose. Their mission? Building lasting relationships and sharing their faith as part of the Baptist Collegiate Ministry. But don't worry, you'll still see them decked out in red and black at every Georgia sporting event. Back to you, Nick.
Thanks for the insight on a long-standing tradition, Brett. Coming up, rival Bulldogs clash in Starkville. And joining me now to take a deeper dive are Sportsource analysts Carmen Corley and Christian Kirby.
Will Georgia's offensive fireworks conquer Mississippi State's home field advantage?
Or will the switch pitching phenom, a player facing his old team, and explosive hitters promise a thrilling SEC showdown? Sportsource returns after this short break.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Hold on to your hats, Bulldog fans. Georgia baseball is heating up. but their winning ways could be on the line this weekend as they clash with a top-tier SEC team. Joining me now are Sportsource analysts Carmen Corley and Christian Kirby to see what makes this matchup so special.
Nick, the game of the week might need an upgrade. Think series of the week. The Diamond Dogs are taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs in Starkville for a crucial 3-game series. This is a huge challenge for Georgia, especially given that Mississippi State is ranked 23rd in the nation.
That's right, Carmen. And not only are the Bulldogs in Starkville ranked nationally, they've been dominant at home all season. They boast a 14-6 record on their home turf and a 2-5 record on the road. But hold on, the Diamond Dogs have been resilient, showing some spectacular offense throughout the season. This series could be their moment to shine.
Get ready for a true clash of the canines. This weekend's Battle of the Bulldogs in Starkville promises to be a showdown. So, what are the critical matchups you guys are keeping a close eye on?
Nick, Mississippi State's Harangelo Sinche is a pitcher to watch this series. The sophomore throws 90-plus mile-an-hour heat, and he does it from both sides. Sinche's pitching ability gives Mississippi State a huge strategic edge, and it'll be fascinating to see how Georgia's lineup handles him.
And Nick, get ready for some more drama. Keep an eye on infielder Slate Alford, who has a unique story in this series. Not only is Alford a major contributor to Georgia's offense, he joined Georgia's baseball team this season after transferring from who other than Mississippi State Bulldog. This weekend's matchup in Starkville will be Alford's first appearance against his former team.
Christian, Mississippi State's offense has some serious firepower, and we need to talk about it. Dakota Jordan is on a tear, batting .378 with 42 hits and a whopping 14 homers. And don't forget about Connor Husak. He's batting .346 with 36 hits and packs a punch with 4 homers. If these two keep it up, Georgia's defense could be in for a long weekend.
Not so fast, Carmen. The Bulldogs are locked and loaded with offensive firepower as well. Charlie Condon is batting .481 right now with 52 hits and 19 home runs. The redshirt sophomore has caught the national attention and is a must-watch player in this series.
An ambidextrous pitcher, a potential first overall pick, and a redemption story against a former team, this series is going to be absolute cinema. But now that we've got all the background info on this SEC matchup, guys, who are you picking to win the series?
Leaning towards Georgia taking the series 2-1. They absolutely crushed Alabama earlier in the season, showcasing their offensive firepower. While they haven't always been road warriors, this team has been clicking lately. I think they have the depth and firepower to snatch this series away from Mississippi State.
Nick, as strong as Georgia started the season this year, I got to ride with Mississippi State to take the series. I believe their dynamic bullpen and home field dominance will be too much for the Georgia Dogs on the road. Don't get me wrong, Georgia's full of talent, and I think they'll fight hard, maybe even steal a game. But in the end, I'm picking the Bulldogs and Mississippi State to win the series. Back to you, Nick.
This is going to be a must-watch series this weekend. Thanks, guys. Coming up on Sportsource, can the Georgia Bulldogs women's golf team make history? With the SEC title on the line, they're gearing up for their biggest challenge yet. We'll take a closer look. And later, a Pennsylvania powerhouse is now a Bulldog. He's already a conference champion, but what's next for this star javelin thrower? We'll dive into his journey when Sportsource returns. Welcome back to Sportsource. The quest for the SEC title is on for the Georgia women's golf team, but can they conquer the challenge? Joining me now is Sportsource reporter Emily Wisnowski, who sat down with head coach Josh Brewer and player Katarina Dawn.
That's right, Nick. I spoke with the pair to try to uncover their preparation strategies and team's determined mindset.
A vigorous practice schedule, consistent workout routine, strict diet, and needle-like focus. This is the standard being followed by the number 24 University of Georgia women's golf team as they gear up for the 2024 Southeastern Conference's Women's Golf Championship. The tournament in Florida is going to be a serious challenge. 5 days, 6 rounds. It's a long haul. But senior Katarina Dawn knows the prep, while tough, will make them stronger as a team.
We are having really hard practices because I think they're great. I think once you struggle in practice, you're going to cruise once you're on the course. If you never encounter a struggle in practice, then the first trip you have on the course, you're going to struggle. So I really enjoy those practices.
Dawn also emphasizes the mental game. Golf is all about staying focused and pushing through challenges. It's not just about the swing.
You know, mentally you have to know that you're going to be tired at some point, and you have to know that you're going to make mistakes. So if you know these things, and you just keep pushing, and adrenaline is a huge help.
As for the specifics, head coach Josh Brewer said that there's no technical obstacles for the team to overcome at the tournament. It's all just about putting the pieces together for each day, each round, and the tournament as a whole.
There's a little bit of luck has to be involved. You need one or two tiny bounces to go your way and a putt that, lips in instead of lips out. But no, we feel like we're in a good spot, and we'll be in a much better spot when the tournament starts.
Of course, Brewer says the team will show up strong. They've earned their spot. But some extra support and excitement from Georgia fans would definitely push that motivation even higher on their quest for a championship title.
So, we got some of the best players in the world, and again, anyone who can watch, send just a simple message on social media, anything. It means a lot, because trust me, the team's looking at it, and again, we are a non-revenue sport, so even one person will notice it, and we appreciate all the support we can get.
Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Emily Wisnowski.
The SEC tournament will be on April 12th through 16th and will air on SEC Network. Back to you, Nick.
Thanks, Emily. Coming up on Sportsource, is Athens the next girls basketball hotbed? Joining me now are Sportsource analysts Abby Halpin and Kayla Lopez.
This basketball season saw deep state tournament runs and breakout stars.
Find out who you need to know for next year. Sportsource returns after the break.
Welcome back to Sportsource. Today we're diving straight into the heart of high school girls basketball. The 2024 girls basketball season might not have brought home any trophies, but the talent on display was undeniable. Sportsource analysts Abby Halpin and Kayla Lopez are joining us with the details on the star players who made this season unforgettable.
Thanks, Nick. The Athens area girls basketball scene was thrilling this season. Oconee County's run to the Elite Eight and Athens Christian's Final Four appearance with a small roster to prove it.
That's right, Kayla. Several Athens teams made appearances in the playoffs, and they were nothing short of exciting. The Prince Avenue and Commerce showdown in round one was only a one-score game. Jefferson fought its way to the Sweet 16, and North Oconee powered its way to the Final Four. This area is loaded with talent.
Abby, with all this talent in Athens, there must be some under-the-radar players about to break out. Who's a potential star that fans should be watching out for next season?
Nick, Kenzie Henderson was an offensive powerhouse this season. The 5'11" forward just wrapped up her junior year and was named to the All-Region team this year after a season with milestones and offensive dominance. Henderson averaged a double-double this season with 13 points and 10 rebounds per game, leading the way for Oglethorpe County to win its second straight region championship. Besides that, Henderson hit a major milestone this season, 1,000 career points, which she accomplished in January. Henderson still has one more year left of high school play, and she is certainly a name folks should keep in the back of their minds.
Sounds like she is going to be a force to be reckoned with. What about you, Kayla? Who are you expecting to make big moves next season?
Nick, one rising star who's been making waves on the court is Eliza Exel from Oconee County. This freshman phenomenon turned heads with her skills and maturity beyond her years. Despite being just 14 years old, Exel has been making a significant impact for the Warriors, averaging 9 points and 3 assists per game. She's proving herself to be a dominant force on the court. Head coach Katie David has had nothing but praise for Exel, describing her as composed, coachable, and crafty, and it's clear that her hard work and dedication are paying off. And let's not forget her versatility on the court. Whether it's scoring points, defending, or showcasing her expansive basketball IQ, Exel is a true all-around player, earning her all-region honors for her outstanding play. Nick, keep an eye on this young talent because Eliza Exel is definitely one to watch next season.
Wow, the accomplishments of Eliza Exel are impressive, Kayla. Abby, does adding Millie Pugmire into the mix indicate more rising talent and a bright future for Athens basketball overall?
Absolutely, Nick. The future of Athens basketball is bright. Eliza's impressive debut season is just the start. Just 12 minutes away, Millie Pugmire went on a scoring spree of her own freshman year with 339 points.
Millie Pugmire's freshman year was a breakout success. She earned spots on both the All-Region First Team and the Northeast Georgia All-Star Team. This multi-sport athlete excels at soccer and volleyball, but basketball is where she shines. Coach Brian Olson praises her shooting 11.3 points per game and tough defense.
Athens basketball fans, the wait for next season will feel like a lifetime because the future looks so bright. Kenzie Henderson's unstoppable offensive game, Eliza Exel's mature court presence, and Millie Pugmire's explosive freshman debut are only a taste of what's to come.
Absolutely, Abby. These athletes don't just shine on the court. Their character and determination are just as impressive. As we look to the next season, there's no doubt they'll continue to make waves, inspiring their teammates and thrilling the fans. Back to you, Nick.
Well said, Kayla and Abby. Coming up on Sportsource, Olympic-level talent right here in Athens. Find out why this UGA transfer is already making history for the Bulldogs track and field team. And later, the Stetson Bennett debate rages on. Is he a Bulldog legend, or did he just get lucky? We're taking the pulse of UGA fans. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sportsource. The Georgia men's track and field team is off to a flying start this season, and one of the key reasons is Mark Minicello. This University of Pennsylvania transfer is making waves for the Bulldogs. Joining me now to discuss Minicello's impact is Sportsource reporter Lily Brody.
Thanks, Nick. Minicello is an absolute force in the javelin throw. He's already an NCAA champion and even made it to the top 5 in the 2021 U.S. Olympic trials. His first season as a Bulldog was a huge success. He brought home the SEC outdoor javelin title and was 4th in the NCAA championship. I caught up with Mark to talk about his journey and where his sights are set this season. I'm joined by Mark Minicello. Mark, you were awarded the Men's Track and Field Athlete of the Week, SEC, last week. Considering you've won the award, since you won the SEC last year, what does this award mean to you?
It's really a symbol that this year we're off to a great start, and looking towards the postseason, things are starting to line up in the right direction, and I'm excited to see where we can go from here.
Do you feel added pressure to perform well, considering you've won an NCAA championship before?
A little bit, but it's comforting knowing that I've been there before and I've done it before. Now it's just about getting everything back in order so that I can give my best push once championship season comes around again.
How do you mentally prepare for a meet? Do you have any pregame rituals, or are you superstitious?
We try to get rid of superstitions, but we try to create some type of routine. So there's a bunch of different things I'll do in the morning. I'll do some warm-up exercises first thing in the morning, as soon as I get to the track, and then we'll just try to keep my mind off the competition until I get there. And once I'm in between the lines, I try to get as focused as possible and try to create a side of myself that most people don't really see. It's a little bit more intense and focused and closed off, but for me, that's what really helps me to compete.
What motivates you and drives your success?
One thing about me is I'd say I'm pretty internally motivated. So as the accolades and the trophies are all great and everything, I really just enjoy the signs and the feeling of progress. So anytime that I'm taking a step in the right direction, it's something that inspires me to keep going, because that's an infectious feeling that I want to keep getting over and over again.
How do you balance the pressures of being a high-performing athlete and the rigorous work of law school?
I think it's really important to just compartmentalize what I'm doing. When it's time to go to school, I'll give school my 100% effort. When I'm at the track and competing, it's time to just really focus and give it all that I've got, and make sure that there's boundaries between my life and not necessarily letting them cross over too much, because if I do that, I'll just be overly stressed and not in a headspace to be successful in either.
What are you looking forward to most this season?
This season is an Olympic year, so the opportunity to compete, to potentially be on the Olympic team for America, is something really special. So the Olympic trials for me are going to be starting June 21st, and that date is definitely circled on my calendar, and I'm doing everything that I can to be ready for it.
And finally, what can Bulldog fans expect to see from you and this team the rest of the season?
I think that the Bulldogs can expect to see a lot of growth. You know, we are a really young team this year, and people are eager and excited to show what they've got. So I think each meet is going to be a stepping stone for us. So be prepared to see us be as good as possible later in championship season. And there will be a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but we'll be continuing to push forward.
Mark and the rest of the track and field team have a busy month ahead. They'll be on the road for the next 4 weeks, starting with this weekend's Hurricane Alumni Invitational in sunny Coral Gables, Florida. With Minicello in the red and black, Bulldog fans can expect more great things from this team. Back to you, Nick.
I'm excited to see how the team will perform in the coming weeks. Thanks, Lily. Coming up on Sportsource, he took Georgia to back-to-back national championships. Some call him a legend, others say he was just lucky. We hit the UGA campus for the surprising answers. Don't go away. Welcome back to Sportsource. Georgia icon Stetson Bennett is back in the spotlight. And the big question is, was his legendary college career a fluke, or will he rise to the challenge in the NFL? Joining me now is Sportsource reporter Mackenzie Wolford, and she's digging into the drama as former Bulldog Stetson Bennett rejoins the Rams for off-season workouts.
Nick, from walk-on to national championship MVP, Stetson Bennett's tale is nothing short of legendary. But with his rookie NFL season sidelined, the debate rages. Is Stetson Bennett a UGA legend, or was he just lucky? I hit the UGA campus to see how his former fans feel.
So what are your general thoughts on Stetson Bennett?
He's the greatest player of the last 30 years for UGA. That excludes Herschel.
I love Stetson Bennett. Personally, I think that he has a wonderful story. I think that he was one of the best quarterbacks that UGA has ever seen. I think that he was super underrated, and a lot of people gave him cruel hate feedback for no reason, because he carried our team to 2 national championships, and I applaud him.
I think he was a pretty solid quarterback. I can't even lie. You know, we got to 2 natties the past 2 years, so it's been good. I think he's been pretty good.
I love that. That means a goat. That means a dog. He could be my dad. He could be my dad, literally, y'all.
It was kind of overrated, but he was still really good for his time here.
Stetson Bennett, I think he's really great. I found that actually really interesting and really fascinating, because I just transferred in the year 2022, and when I found out that he was a transfer and also got to walk on the team and just win back-to-back national championships, I think that was just super amazing and inspiring to see. So I think he's definitely a legend for sure.
I think that he was a little, everyone was riding Stetson Bennett train, and TBH, I don't think he's that good. I thought it was the defense and the other offensive players that made him look good. Kamari Lassiter, Darnell Washington, Kendall Milton, George Pickens. Those are the people that brought talent. And he just kind of, I guess, meshed it together. But I don't know, that's my opinion.
So if you had to say Stetson Bennett was a Georgia legend or he just got lucky, what are you saying?
He just got lucky.
I think he was lucky to have the team around him that he did. But, I mean, he proved himself, and it's hard to bring someone to the finish line, so Stetson Bennett definitely did a good job, so I put him down as Georgia legend.
He is a legend with everything in his record. He's just top-tier talent, you guys. You don't come around that. Look, I can't even speak because that man is too high.
I mean, he had a lot of great weapons around him, but I don't think he was lucky. I think he's a legend.
We're talking legend all the way, man. The only thing he'd be lucky for is joining the team, man. Dude, God bless. Let's go, Stenson.
I feel like no matter who the player is, they always have to have a good team.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, I was going to say something pretty much along the same lines. I think you have to have a good system all around, and I think a part of having a great team is having a quarterback that can lead a good system. So I don't think it's more so downplaying his legacy or success based on the team around him, but I think it's more so him leading his system to success.
That's a great answer. Thank you so much, guys.
After I asked people what they thought about Stetson, I also wanted their thoughts on if he would ever play a snap for the Rams. Most think it will be a rough road for the dog. What do you think, Nick?
It should be interesting, Mackenzie. The Rams just signed journeyman QB Jimmy Garoppolo this offseason, so it looks like Stetson will have to compete for the backup spot in training camp. Hopefully he can show out. And with that, that's our show for this week. Tune in every Friday for the latest sports coverage of UGA and the Athens area high schools. From the entire Sportsource team, thanks for watching. And we'll see you back here next week. Enjoy your weekend.